How's it going, friends? I'm very excited to share this video with you today. This is one of my all-time favorite neighborhoods in the Twin Cities. It's in St. Paul, and according to niche.com, it's ranked the #1 neighborhood in all of the Twin Cities and all of Minnesota, and ranked the 42nd best neighborhood to live in all of the country. This is Mac-Groveland. That's Macalester College, the namesake. Let's go. How's it going, y'all? My name is Jesse Lynch, and I run the hardest working real estate team in the game. We're called To The Twin Cities, and you can check out our website, tothetwincities.com. But this YouTube channel, it's all about helping you find a place to call home or helping you find the right buyer for your home. First-time home buyers, relocations, and the best listing videos anywhere on the internet. That's what we do, and that's what we do better than anybody else. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, then do me a favor, do yourself a favor, subscribe to this channel, click the bell to get notified so you can see every time we put videos out just like this one. And if you wouldn't mind, give the video a thumbs up, say hey in the comments, something like that. By the way, this is from Roots Roasting, which is, I think, my favorite coffee bean available in the Twin Cities. Make sure you check this place out. Very, very, very good coffee. And if you want to work with us, go to our website, tothetwincities.com. We have a contact form there that you can fill out in like 30 seconds or less, or you can just shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities.com. They'll lead to the same spot, so it's totally up to you how you do it. We just ask that you do, and look forward to it. Look forward to helping you out. This is what we do, and yeah, we'll take it from there, get the ball rolling for you. Like I said at the top, this video is about Mac-Groveland, one of my truly favorite neighborhoods in all of the Twin Cities. I think you saw that, right? Right from Roots Roasting, which by the way is right off Snelling, right into just this cozy neighborhood feel. If this isn't what it's all about, I don't know what is. I'm excited to show you around. All right, friends, and right now I'm on Summit Avenue, right in front of St. Thomas. And this road, Summit Avenue, I've talked about it a lot on this channel. It is absolutely beautiful, an iconic road. And I've heard people say it's not just an iconic road in St. Paul, it is the road in St. Paul, which I would tend to agree with. Absolutely stunning. And even St. Thomas Academy, gorgeous school. And then just further down that way by maybe a mile, maybe less than that, is Macalester College, the namesake of Mac-Groveland, and also a truly, truly beautiful campus. I've lived in Macalester Groveland before. I really, really enjoyed living here. When I was looking for a place, I definitely was considering Mac-Groveland. It was just waiting for the right house. Mac-Groveland was absolutely a spot that if I had found the right house, I would have lived here in a heartbeat, no problem at all, and I would have been quite thrilled had I found the right house. The borders of Mac-Groveland are pretty simple, and it's in the southern triangle of St. Paul. We talk about that. That's basically a term that we as a team made up to describe things that are south of 94 and sort of surrounded by the river. But Mac-Groveland itself, to the north is Summit Avenue, right? This is the furthest north border of Mac-Groveland. Technically, right over here is Union Park or Merriam Park or something like that. To the east, you have Aid Mill Road and the Summit Hill and West 7th neighborhood. To the south, you have Randolph Avenue and the Highland Park neighborhood. And to the west, you have the Mississippi River or the Mississippi River Boulevard. A beautiful road. We'll go there in a second. Mac-Groveland has really, really great access to both downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul. About 15 minutes to downtown Minneapolis, about 10 minutes to downtown St. Paul, and just about 10 minutes to the airport. Super, super good access to the airport without, by the way, super crazy airport noise, which we can talk about in the pros and cons, or maybe it won't come up because it's not really a con. There's actually really not that bad of airport noise here in Mac-Groveland. The population of Mac-Groveland is 16,000 people, and the median sale price is right around $430,000. There's a huge range of homes here. Really, entry level for a single family home is probably around the low 300s. There are sometimes homes more affordable than that, but usually they're, you know, in need of some love, in need of some work. And then on the high end, you could spend as high as $2 million right now. Probably that would be either along Summit Avenue or along the Mississippi River Boulevard that way. The housing stock here in Mac-Groveland is some of my favorite, especially within kind of the sweet spot of the price range. Around $400K gets you a very nice classic bungalow. You'll see a few other styles like Spanish colonials. Tudors are definitely, you know, littered throughout here as well, but the bungalow is one of the, I don't know, the nicest homes here, and there's very, very good examples of classic craftsman bungalow design. The schools in Mac-Groveland are solid, but not like the best in the state at all, right? In fact, that's true of St. Paul. On the whole, good schools, but kind of a complicated school structure, complicated school system, which, by the way, as I'm talking about schools, if you have not checked out our new channel, Schools in the Twin Cities, hosted by my friend Bradford, longtime best friend, then you should definitely check that out. He really dives into the nuances of the schools. So if schools are a priority to you, check that channel out, because the depth of his dives are going to be untouchable, best on the internet for sure. The public schools, again, that are just designated to your space are going to be just okay, right? Maybe like B plus, maybe some B minus as well. But a few things to consider are there are really top-notch private schools, as well as some other sort of like magnet and I don't know, I'll explain. You have Cretan-Durham Hall. That's one of the most highly regarded private schools in all of the Twin Cities. It's an A+. And then you also have things like Nova Classical Academy, upper and lower. That's K through 12. It's in the top 10 school districts in Minnesota. And honestly, it's a tiny school. It's like basically one large building that serves all of K through 12, but it's A+, and that's the whole district and the whole school. There's also Cyber Village Academy, something worth looking into. But yeah, Central Senior High School gets an A, and Highland Park Senior High gets an A-. I would say my biggest gripe with St. Paul is that the school system is just complicated to learn about. Again, check out the other channel. But all right, that's it for this section. We're gonna head over by the river and talk through some pros and cons of Mac-Groveland. All right, y'all, as promised, I'm on Mississippi River Boulevard, and this is just where some of my favorite homes in all of the Twin Cities exist. It is a truly stunning spot. Right across here, this is the boulevard, right? There's also this enormous patch of grass between the boulevard and the sidewalk, and then you have all these very beautiful homes lining pretty much the entire boulevard. And then right across there is the Mississippi River, and it's a huge bluff. So really none of these, I mean, pending something unreal, there's really no chance of flood, right? It is a long way up from the river to here, and so there are beautiful views. But I'm not just talking about this spot. I want to talk about pros and cons of living here in Mac-Groveland. I have lived here. Again, I would live here in a heartbeat. So first of all, I don't think this is a pro, but I think it illustrates the pros. According to niche.com, Mac-Groveland is ranked the best place to live in the Twin Cities in Minnesota overall. It's ranked the 42nd best neighborhood to live in all of the United States. That is a pretty crazy ranking. But the actual pros, you have, I mean, absolutely beautiful housing stock, from the more modest all the way up to these more aspirational style of homes. I mean, are so great all along here. And once you get tucked into these neighborhoods, really great, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath bungalows. I love it. 10-15 minutes to both downtowns, so very central to the whole Twin Cities overall. You have tons of restaurants, shops, grocery stores, access to things like Whole Foods, Kowalski's, Trader Joe's, all super within reach, as well as great coffee shops, great restaurants, and yeah, just all sorts of that stuff going on. And then the neighborhood itself feels very community focused, very neighborhoody, and just, I don't know, peaceful, I think is how I would best describe it. Cons, honestly, man, it's hard to think of cons for this neighborhood, as it is one of my favorites in all of the Twin Cities, but let's talk about it. So first one I would say is there is not a lake in Mac-Groveland or anywhere super close to Mac-Groveland. The most usable nearby lakes would be Como, which is quite a ways to the north, and Nokomis, which is quite a ways to the west. And there's just not all that much outdoor space aside from sort of the central area of Summit Avenue and a few parks, but most of the green space is directly related to schools and things like that. So not as much park space as you would maybe hope. That said, the whole place looks like a park. It's really beautiful and there's trees on every street, and you know, just it is a really pretty area. So take that as you will. Second con, prices. Prices are above the median of the Twin Cities. That's my rule. If it's above the median, I call it a con, but I do think the value is pretty substantial in this area. Another con, and maybe some of this can be cleared up, maybe this is more ignorance on my end, but the school system in St. Paul seems overly complicated. Again, we have the school channel my friend Bradford is doing. Go check that out if you haven't yet. Link will be in the description, and he'll dive deep into what's going on with the schools, because there is kind of a weird, I don't know, like school choice thing happening there, and it's hard to decipher exactly, okay, if I live here, what school am I going to? It seems like it's not quite that cut and dry. And then I think last con that I could think of, and honestly, having lived here, I don't really think it's a con. I don't think it's really that much of an impact on one's lifestyle, but that is that there are colleges nearby, and sometimes colleges come with a little bit of a raucous lifestyle, right? But I do think that these colleges, St. Thomas, very desirable college in the Twin Cities, Mac-Groveland, very desirable college, and then St. Kate's, all super nice. And you know, I lived right on Grand Avenue when I lived here, very close to Mac-Groveland and St. Thomas, and experienced very little as it pertains to, I don't know, party, you know, college lifestyle affecting me at all. All right, we're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna talk through what other places you might want to consider if you like what you're seeing here. I got a whole list. These are, again, some of my favorite places in the Twin Cities. First, look how picturesque. This house looks like a dang old storybook. All right, let's go. All right, y'all, and now I'm on yet another one of my favorite roads, and kind of a slept on street, I guess, in Mac-Groveland, and this is Woodlawn. Woodlawn Avenue is not that large, and it's not like along the river, but it's just off of it, and the houses here are so beautiful. The neighborhood feel is almost untouchable. Elevated neighborhood feel, so closer to luxury and definitely a little bit more expensive, but man, the houses here are beautiful. even if you live further in, great place to go for, you know, a bike ride, a walk, or something like that. I want to talk through for fans of, so as to say, if you like what you see here, what are some other spots that you might want to consider around the Twin Cities? There's quite a few, honestly. So before I get into that, I would just like to say, if you want to work with us, we would absolutely love to help. This is what we do. This is what we do better than anybody else, whether it's buying a house here in the Twin Cities, selling it. That's something that we just work our absolute butts off. So again, go to thetwincities.com. We have a contact form there that you can fill out very, very quickly, or shoot us an email directly to info@tothetwincities.com. We would love to help. But let's dive in. What are some other spots that you might want to consider? I'm going to make this kind of quick. Basically, the whole southwestern quadrant of Minneapolis. So that includes Kingfield, Lyndhurst, Tangletown, Armitage, Kenny, and I guess Fulton as well as Linden Hills. Then just about every other spot in what we call the Southern Triangle of St. Paul. So basically Highland Park, that's just to the south, Union Park, that's just to the north, and Summit Hill, that's just to the east. All of those are absolutely beautiful. And if you like this, you will definitely like those. And then a couple outside spots that, again, worth considering would be places like Excelsior, Stillwater. Those are very common places that people who maybe they like the feel of this, but they don't want to live in the city, they might want to consider something like that. And then a couple last little spots around the city would be St. Anthony Park, absolutely beautiful. We have a virtual tour on it. Actually kind of reminds me mostly of the likes of a Woodlawn, that kind of feel. And then also Como Park, definitely worth considering, has a lot of similarities and has a lake. But that's what I got, and that's where this video ends. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.